Star Wars Pit Droids. This is a game from back in the day when Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace came out. Pit Droids. You know, only the most popular Star Wars character. The Pit Droids. Actually, I love the Pit Droids. They actually are one of my favorite Star Wars characters because of this game. This was probably one of the first Star Wars games that I ever owned, and is probably what got me into Star Wars in the first place. Star Wars Pit Droids, yeah. So, look at that. Look at this. It's beautiful. Look at these graphics. Look at him. Look at that guy. Look at him. He's in the back there. He's stuck in there. Oh, the Pit Droids. They're goofballs. Look at them. Oh, they're playing chess, but they're actually stupid. So it's funny because they're doing the smart thing. Alright, let's get started. Puzzle Maker. This was my favorite part of the game. However, it's really boring to watch, so I'm not going to do the Puzzle Maker. So we're just going to play regular puzzles. We're going to make a new game, medium. So this is the main thing. What you got to do. Watto bought a bunch of Pit Droids, so now you got to take them to the place, because, you know, there's a cutscene at the beginning, but I decided not to show it. I don't know, because just be sitting there just watching a cutscene. It's boring. But anyway, at the beginning is like the Star Wars like beginning of the movie kind of scroll thing, where it's like Star Wars Pit Droids. Watto bought a bunch of Pit Droids, and you got to bring him to his place. And then it cuts to Watto, and he's like, "Hey, I bought a bunch of the Pit Droids. You got to bring them to me." And then it just drops the end of the game. So that's what we're gonna do. We gotta get the Pit Droids that Watto bought, and we're gonna take them to him. Alright. So this is this little mechanical thing here. This thing dispenses Pit Droids, and you gotta get them to the hole over here. That's Pit Droids. And you get them to the hole by using little arrows. And so like when they pop out of the machine, they'll go in a straight line, and you gotta use the arrows to change the direction. It's kind of like Lemmings, if you've ever played Lemmings. Lemmings is also a very good game. I highly recommend that as well. Except with Lemmings, you give each lemming a job, but this one you have to like direct them all at once. So it's kind of like Lemmings in that you have to get a large number of robots to a place, but well, in Lemmings they weren't robots, they were lemmings. But yeah, you have to get a whole bunch of them to a place, but it's different. It's the same, different. Don't argue with me. Actually, I can get rid of this arrow, you notice, because then they just go in a straight line. Oh, they almost crashed. Yeah, later on, the first few levels, it's just, first few levels, you just, you know, they just kind of go, and they'll stop if they, like, get in the way of something, and they'll just keep going if it's out of the way. But in the later levels, they'll collide with things, and they'll fall down pits, and, you know, it gets more hazardous as it goes along in true, puzzle game fashion. Got about 30 in there. We can just speed that up. There's a little speed up function, which is also really nice. So yeah, you get 48 Pit Droids in a level. So you get 48 Pit Droids in a level, and they move on to the next world. There's 9 worlds. Gotta get them all to the arena. So there's like 400 something to start with, and then is that 500? 3, 4? No, it's more than that. I don't know. It's math. So you get a whole bunch of them at the start, and you transport them in batches of 48 to the very end. And, you know, as you get farther down, they'll, you know, like crash and collide and stuff. And so you might not end the level with 48, you might end the level with less. So by the time you get them all to the end, you might have fewer than you started with, but the goal is to get the most amount to the end as you can, and then you have to transport them in batches of 48. So we can either... Oh no, we can't yet. We have to get a certain amount from the ship to the shop before we can unlock the shop levels and keep them moving forward to Mos Espa. So yeah, you gotta get like this amount, this little green box, you gotta get that amount to this place. So yeah, that is Star Wars Pit Droids. I might do another video of this, I might not, let's see how it goes.